All right, so last night I had to go back and work my first ship in about a week. And I knew going into it, checking my emails all day, that it was going to be pretty messed up. So I decided, to try to keep myself occupied from the chaos that would ensue from the whole night, that I would make a video of what a normal day is like for me when I'm at work. And I also was able to go out and get some drone footage of the ship as it was going back down the river to Southwest Pass. So here is a day at New Orleans Terminal. Right now I'm doing my ship safety walkthrough, just checking stuff out, making sure there's not anything too horribly wrong with it. And it seems like usually with the bigger ships there's surprisingly less safety issues with them. This is definitely one of the bigger ships that we have come in. It's actually the first time I think that it's came here, but it has a bay 74, which means it's pretty high. Usually we only work ships that go up to like a bay 46 or a 50, so it's definitely pretty long. We had some issues trying to just get it into the dock with all the construction and stuff that's going on down there, but luckily we made it work. Out on this deck that we're not working on, it's just gonna try to see if I can get a cool view of the city at all. Sometimes you can. Nope, not very exciting tonight. All right, so continuing on this video of what I do for work. These are our packets that I have to type up. One is for each gang, so each crane that's working out here tonight will have their own packet for their gang, so that way they don't get confused on what they're doing. And it just says like what bay they're gonna go to, how many moves they're gonna do, what size, if there's any restos, special instructions goes in this column. And yeah, it's pretty much just tells them, where stuff is at on the ship and gives them an idea of how long they're gonna be here. And so the other guy that planned this kind of messed this up, because see how they got 416 for my forward gang, but then I have 448 for my aft gang and the boom up, which takes 30 minutes. So he really should have reworked his paperwork better, because you want those to go numbers, that 416 and that 448, you want to be as close together as possible, because that's what we call the split. And if it's as close as possible, then you give them a better chance to finish at the same time. But with this boom up here, which takes about 30 minutes to do because we have to work behind the house, he definitely should have pretty much switched this. So pretty much this forward gang should have probably 450 moves, and this aft gang should probably have like 420 moves or less. But it's just the way it goes. It's already probably going to be a pretty messed up ship, because this crane right here has been kind of cutting in and out on us, so it's probably already going to get screwed up. We're started at 1900, and hopefully we could get to try to finish for a noon finish tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. Usually doesn't go really well. And then I just make notes of like who my clerks are at the top of my sheets and stuff, so that I know who to call on the radios. And then my bays that I'm working when I do my safety walkthrough, so I know I went to them already and checked them off and took pictures and whatnot. And I save these two so that I go back later in operation, so it looks like I've been up on the ship more and don't get yelled at. When you open it up and you look at the bay view, you have so the grayed out ones on the sides, those are stuff that's staying on the ship that we're not touching. And then the stuff in the middle that's like numbered is each which step they're supposed to do it in the proper order, and then say where it's going to. And then just looking at it, this is bay 74, this is the last bay on the ship. The numbers at the top, the 0001, so 01 are all the odds, that's going to be starboard side, and all the evens is going to be port side. And it has a bay for where it gets kind of confusing is that, so this is bay 74 because these are all 40-foot boxes. You see the 40DH there, but so this is bay 74. But when you have 20 footers like this below deck, see how it says 73? I have bay 73 parentheses 74, and then I have 75 because the 20-foot units go in odd number bays. So my 20 footers are in bay 73 and bay 75. However, these 40s that are on top of the 20 footers are technically in bay 74. So this is probably the most tricky part of getting started out, but once you understand it, it actually becomes pretty simple. Sometimes you see a lot of different stuff come through here on the river. This massive crane. So each hour we do this hourly count where we see kind of what we did that hour. And the last hour you see here, this 34 and 38 is pretty good. We try to shoot for 35. It's pretty much, that's the goal. But overall, we're pulling a 29 and a 27 right now, which is pretty shitty, but hopefully we can turn it around. The split has a 331 and 306. It's kind of evened up a little bit from what it was earlier, but we're still right now trying to finish for 11, apparently 11 a.m. tomorrow, but with one gang. So it'd be one gang from 7 to 11, and I don't see us pulling that off, but who knows? Maybe it'll work out. It's not gonna work out. I think this is like one of the most dangerous things we do, is like taking the covers off the deck to go below deck and just have this massive piece of metal that could just pancake anybody. So I try to stay away from these as much as possible because they're pretty loud, as you can hear there. And here's a catwalk view of the river. And there's another ship working back there, if you can see between that gap, but because that box you can't see it. Got my second safety check done, and since I'm not the lead today, I basically just get to sit in my truck for the next 3 hours and then go home. This is how we know the operation's ending. Whenever the last pin rack's going on, pretty much means we're done, and I'm about to leave in like 5 minutes as soon as this guy gets this up and on the ship. All right, we finally finished that ship. It ended up being about 16 hours, which is kind of brutal, but I don't have to be back up here till Saturday, which is nice, and I'm also not lead again, which is nice, so it'll be an easy day. But I'm gonna go home now, get something to eat, and then we're gonna get some drone footage of the ship when it is leaving the city. All right, I'm posted up in this spot. Seems like it should be pretty cool. Now we're just waiting on this ship to come down the river. This wasn't really the best time of day to try to video this ship leaving because the sun is kind of facing me, but I tried to make it work out the best that I could. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully in the future, I can try to make better videos with the ships. That was kind of the first time videoing a ship as it comes down the river. So I have a lot to learn on where to get better positioned and what time of the day I should probably go do it at. And hopefully it gets better in the future. I'd like to try to make money off my drone and selling pictures and videos of these ships and barges coming up the river to like the port for their LinkedIn page or other companies. So hopefully I can really improve on that aspect and make better shots in the future. But thanks for watching.